Okay, what's up everybody? So, just wanted to do this quick video for you guys. I know I had mentioned this in the group when we were doing the simulator last Monday about basically seeing how much you could potentially grow your account if you were to compound your interest or your your profit every week over time, right? So I just wanted to kind of give you a visual on what's possible and what you guys should be kind of reaching for in terms of long-term goals, right? So everyone should have some sort of set target every week that they should be looking to achieve, and then looking to compound that week after week, month after month, year after year, so that you have yourself kind of a 1, 3, 5 year plan in terms of goal setting, for what you want to make in terms of profit, right? And so that you guys can actually give yourself something to shoot for. So this site is called a basically it's like a compound calculator site. Okay, so what I can do is you can see there's a bunch of values here that I can input. Okay, this is going to be your starting balance. Okay, this is going to be the percent profit that you make every week. Okay, this is a start date. Okay, you can use any date that you want, but obviously we just use today's date. And then the term length. Okay, you can see here it says days, weeks, or months, and then we have a couple of options here that we can check off, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you guys in terms of weekly profits. Okay, so what we can do every week. Now, obviously, you can make it so that it compounds every day, Monday through Friday only, excluding weekends. But we're going to do every week. There's also an option here to do every month. Okay, and the the term length here, the number that you put here, is relative to whatever you select here. So now that we have every week selected, I have 52 in here because there's 52 weeks in a year. Okay, so this will be 52 weeks every week, right? Compounded at 3% interest rate. Okay, and then the amount to reinvest here, basically what that means is you can choose to reinvest your profits or compound your profits. And I'm going to use, for all of my examples, I'm going to show you 100% reinvestment, because what we're going to do is we're going to pretend basically that this is going to be like your nest egg, or your the balance that you set aside to grow to basically become financially independent, right? So I'm using for an initial balance just $1,000. Okay, I know it's for some people it might be a lot, for some people it might not be too much, but it's a general kind of number that everyone I think can attain, everyone can scrape together and start with. And if you want to use different numbers, of course, you guys can go ahead and plug in different numbers that suit you, right? So I'm just going to use $1,000 for a generic, kind of starting balance, okay? And what we want to do is we want to try to achieve every week a target profit of 3%, okay? So I think most of you that can agree that a profit of 3% every week is very much achievable, right? Just getting, one setup at a 3-to-1 RR, at 1% risk, you can achieve that, and you can find one setup every week, right? And obviously you guys, in the sniper course now know that you can find something like that pretty much every day, right? So that's very, very generous, very, very reasonable. Okay, so I'm just using 3% as an example. We'll use, bigger numbers as we go and go through this, but I just want you guys to see what's possible at the very basic level. Okay, that's very basic level, and what you guys can start to achieve, kind of further out in terms of like years, down the road, as you get consistent and profitable. Okay, so what this will do is once you have the numbers inputted in here, you press calculate. Okay, and then down here at the bottom, you can this ad thing here, and I'll give you the link to this the website so you guys can play around with it yourself. But they'll give you an analysis here of what will happen with your money. Okay, so you can see here it says you have an initial investment of $1,000. Your investment start date is today's date. Okay, your investment term, right? It gives you all the things that you inputted up here, and then here's the details of what you would make. So basically at the end of 52 weeks, okay, 100% compounded, if you made 3% every single week, your $1,000 would turn into $3650.92. Okay, so basically a total return of 365%. So 3.5 times your money, okay, in 1 year. All right, now obviously $3,000 isn't that much money because it's only 1 year, right? And it's only $1,000. So I'm just think about it in terms of percentage. This is a 3.5 times return on your initial investment. Okay, and you can see here the total original investment plus our earned interest of profit is 4650. So this is including your initial balance. So the start date, the end date here, okay, and here this says weeks day until crossover. So basically what that means is this is your break-even point. So how many weeks does it take for you to earn back your initial investment? Okay, in this case it'd be 24 weeks, right? And it gives you the date. So it says here percent profit reinvestment. This means that you reinvested everything, right? So you didn't take any money out during the process. You just compounded and put your money back in to let it grow for you and use that as your percentage every week and try to earn your 3%. Okay, and then right here you can see the payout schedule. It shows you every single week what your balance would be, how much you made, right, and then how your growth should look like at the end of 52 weeks. Okay, so that's in the course of 52 weeks or 1 year. Now let's take it a step further. Okay, let's go on to year 2. So another 52 weeks, right, which means it'll be 104 weeks. And let's calculate. Okay, still the same 3% interest rate, okay, and 3% profit every week. The same starting balance of $1,000. Now, okay, by the end of year 2, your investment is going to be $20,000, okay, or your balance is going to be $20,000. Okay, so a pretty big jump, right, from 3,000 going to 20,000. Okay, and the same percentage here, so 2,000% growth, right, over the course of 2 years. Right now, remember, keep in mind, this is just averaging 3% a week every single week. Okay, every week that you make 3%, you compound it and you let it grow, and your $1,000 is going to turn into $20,000. Okay, like I said, very reasonable. If you find one setup every week, okay, even if you take some losses, you make it back and you get 3% as a net profit for the week, that counts, right? So you just have to come up with 3% at the end of every week, and this is what you'll get. Okay, so again, there's your payout schedule, right? How much you earn every week and what it will be at the end of 2 years. Okay, now let's go further. Let's go to 3 years. Okay, so 3 years, another 52 weeks. So we're at 156. Calculate. Okay, at the end of 3 years, now it starts to get interesting. Now we're getting into six-figure territory. Okay, $99,600. So basically $100,000, right? At the end of 3 years, okay, with $1,000 starting balance, okay, you can get to $100,000 in 3 years' time, right? Just compounding your profit at 3% every week. Okay, pretty amazing. Considering that this is money that you just basically set aside and trade with, okay, you don't have to add any more money into it, right? It's just $1,000 that you started with 3 years ago, and now it's turned into $100,000. There's no other investment vehicle in the world that's going to get you this kind of return in 3 years with this kind of starting money, right? Everyone can agree on that. Okay, obviously you tweak this number, you tweak this number, you tweak these numbers here. You can, go and play with your own numbers here and your own statistics yourself and find different values. Okay, but this is basically what's possible, so that you can give yourself sort of a goal. This is 3 years. Let's just jump ahead to 5 years. Okay, so this will be, for some of you, this will be your 5-year plan. Okay, so 260 weeks, it's 5 years, right? At 3% compounded. Right, and this is a 5-year, maybe like a game plan for you guys to kind of shoot for, to get 3% every week. Okay, starting at $1,000. Look what happens: $2 million. Okay, this is for you. So for some of you, it can be like a retirement fund, right? $2 million to sit on that you can basically, retire off of. Okay, this you can put into, different investment vehicles. Once you have this, set aside, you can put it in different investment vehicles and have that growing interest for you in different ways. Split it up however you like. There's obviously multiple possibilities that you guys can do with this, but again, this is what's possible. Okay, and again, $1,000. Right, 3% a week. very doable. Okay, and it's not killing yourself. You're not looking for a trade every single day. You're not on the charts 24/7, right? It's just a very simple, straightforward 5-year plan. Okay, and at the end of 5 years, you'll make roughly $2 million. Okay, and that's something that you can sit and retire on. Okay, let's take it a step further now. Okay, so now we know that one setup a week at 3% is very doable. Now, would you say that 6% is also very doable, right? If we just kind of turn this around and look for 2 setups a week, let's just say it's 2 setups a week, all right? I'm just going to contrast and show you guys, okay, the 1 year versus the 5 year, okay? Let's do 1 year first. So $1,000 balance, 6%. Okay, remember that our initial $1,000 at 3% garnered $3,600. Now, just doubling the percentage to 6%. Okay, we went from 3,600 to nearly 20,000. Okay, so that's almost like a 7 times percent gain or multiplier. Okay, you're getting 7 times or 6 times your money just by doubling the percentage from 3 to 6%. Okay, so that's how powerful compound interest can be, and that's how it can work for you if you're able to make more profit every week. Obviously, it's going to be more beneficial to you, but the power of compound interest, okay, makes it so much more incredible, because this is just year 1. Okay, now I'm going to fast forward this to year 5. Okay, well, actually, let me do year 3. Okay, just to give you a reference. Okay, here's year 3, 156. Okay, so in 3 years, right, $1,000 balance, 6% profit every week. That's just basically 2 setups at 3R every week on average. Okay, compounded every week for 3 years. Okay, your initial $1,000 becomes $8.8 million at 3 years time. Okay, I might even have to do the 5 years, because 5 years is just going to be ridiculous, but 3 years. Okay, so now I've basically shortened your retirement plan from 5 years to 3 years. Okay, just by basically doubling the percentage that you can make. Okay, every week. Okay, let's do 5 years just for giggles. So we're looking at about $3.7 billion. Okay, so I mean that's going a little bit over the top. Obviously, you don't need to go for 5 years at this point if you're using 6%. All right, but a nice 3-year plan, right? Maybe 2 years will be enough. Let's see what happens at 2 years. Just how much you make. So the stark difference between 2 and 3 years. Look at the difference here. We have 400,000. Okay, which is still a lot of money, versus 8 million by year 3. So 400,000 becomes 8 million, and that's the power of compound interest. Okay, that's pretty insane, right? Now let's do one step further. Okay, and for those of you that become proficient and start to really get your trades down. Okay, you can do 9% a week. Okay, that's 3 setups, right, at 3R. Per week on average. That means only 3 setups, right, at 3%, provided you don't lose any. Okay, so obviously if you lose some, you have to make more trades. But let's just say you have 3 winners every week, okay, and they each give you 3R, and you make 9% a week. Okay, let's do the initial 1 year first. Okay, so 1 year becomes $1,000 becomes $87,000. Okay, so a far cry from the 3%, which only gave you $3,600. At 9%, you're making now $87,000 in your very first year. Okay, that's basically a very nice salary for most anybody. Okay, that you can live comfortably on for the first year. Now let's go into year 3. And that becomes $689 million, right? Which is incredibly ridiculous. Okay, so at 9%, you would not even need to go into year 3. Let's see what year 2 does. All right, so from 87,000 to 7.8 million. So basically, you have a 2-year plan. If you're able to on average make 9% profit per week, and compound that over the course of 2 years using only a starting balance of $1,000. Okay, and obviously, like I said, you can tweak this number to be more or less, and it could be even more or less time. Just play with the numbers, like I said, and you guys can do however you want. Now, I've been doing this as the compounding 100% of the interest every month, right? But there's this value here. What you can do is, let's say, for example, that you want to maybe take out half of the investment or half of the profits every week, okay, as you're compounding, right? So let's just say 50%. Okay, so what that means is you'll take out half the profit, okay, and then the other half you'll put back into your account so that you have some profit, on the side here that you're taking out every week as a withdrawal. Okay, now look at the difference at how much your money, gets stymied if you do that, right? So if you don't compound everything, right, and you don't leave the money in, that 7.8 million becomes only 192,000. Okay, so that's how important it is to let your money grow. You ever hear that example of the penny doubling every day for 30 days, right? What happens at the end of 30 days if somebody were to offer you $1 million, or they would offer you a penny, but it doubled every day for a month, right? For 30 days, what would you take? Would you take the $1 million, or would you take the penny? The answer is that you would take the penny, because the penny would grow into something ridiculous, like 8 or 16 million or something big, right? That's the power of compound interest. That's the example I'm showing you here. Okay, so just you guys, I'll give you the link. I'll post it in the group. You can take a look at yourself and kind of play with the numbers yourself, and just kind of start to think about a long-term game plan. Okay, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is. Okay, whatever amounts that you think you can do. Just make sure it's realistic. Obviously, some of these numbers are they get really ridiculous. Okay, so just keep it realistic and try to make it so that it's attainable for you. Okay, at first it might be 3% a week. All right, and as you get more proficient, maybe by year 2, you'll start to think that you got this down, and you can get to 6% a week, and then 9%, right? And then your numbers will change as this kind of progresses throughout the year for you. Okay, so just something fun you guys can play around with, and something you guys can use for some goal setting. Okay, guys, so hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one.